Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I will be continuing my Building Newcrest series where we take all of the empty lots on Newcrest and build it into a playable town. So without further ado, subscribe if you enjoy and let's get into the video. Here we go again. So for this episode, we are building another community lot, and this one is a community pool. I had a vision for this one. It's not much of a vision, but it was a little bit of a vision. And all I wanted was for it to somehow include 2 different levels. So to start, I'm kind of making just the little bathhouse section of this. It's not that big, it's not that involved. The pool is mostly outdoor, but these ones are all shower stalls and then 2 little half baths in addition to that. So it's a little bit weird on the inside, but it's functional. You can get around there. There's just little hallways. I thought about trying to find a more grand door for the entrance since this is in like the big fancy family neighborhood, but then decided against it because I like this door. So that is the door that's been chosen, and now we start venturing into wallpaper. I didn't know what I wanted to put on the outside of this, what I wanted it to be, but I found that tile and I liked it for the shower stalls, so I went ahead and popped that in there. And then for the outside here, I just went with a very basic blue paneling. I just thought it looked nice. It's nice in blue because water, obviously, and then put some little windows out there as well. And I knew that I wanted to use this huge sliding glass door for it as a nice grand entrance. And then also put some little blue flowers onto those and decided to make the windows bigger to add in some more natural light, so the entire back wall is pretty much just windows. I ended up taking the paneling from the outside and just putting it on that main inside area, and then we went in and lit it all up. So I added some little windows as well to the shower stalls and to the bathrooms, some bathroom doors, and then moved on to shower doors. They're see-through, but we all know how The Sims works. It doesn't matter. Moving on to flooring. I saw this tile and I wanted an excuse to use it. So I found an excuse eventually, but we went with a basic white for the 2 half baths. And then this is where I really wanted to make one of these fun tiles work. I ended up going with this one because it keeps it light and bright. It brings in the blue, and then went with that white tile for the showers and ended up taking that into the bathroom as well. The bathrooms are very simple, just toilet, sink, mirror, the basics, the essentials of what you need for a bathroom, if you will. And while I scroll through and find a mirror that I like that does clip with the window a little bit, but we're gonna ignore that, I will let you know that all of these builds will be available on my gallery page. My gallery ID is Livy2654. This one is not up just yet, but we're working on it. Then I put some little rugs, because everyone's got wet feet at a pool. It's just gross. It's always a little gross. I put some little rugs in the half baths as well. And then decided to put a couple plants in this main area since there's not a ton in there, just kind of next to the entrances and exits. The inside of this is very simple, and then put some basic little shower situations in there. Then I was thinking where I could put towels, and I decided to put them outside of the stall where it's kind of like a you grab one before you go in type of deal, and it looked a little boring with just the one on the bottom, so I double stacked them, so there's plenty of towels, even though they're not functional objects for your Sims, but there's a lot of them. Then going back into the bathroom, I just put a little hand towel and toilet paper in each of those, and then decided to put one little painting on the wall in each of these. I opted to go with the pets paintings. They were just kind of chill. And I just changed the swatch for that second bathroom. Now we start to, well, we're gonna landscape before we even put a pool down on this lot. I put that little path out there and then just wanted some form of greenery next to the door. I didn't really care what, I just wanted something there to make it not look so empty, because it did look very empty. So put some grass, some bushes, a couple little flowers here and there, just to fill up the space a tiny bit. Then I was trying to figure out if I wanted to line the front with shrubs, and ended up making the little blue flower bushes smaller to line up to the entryway. Then I moved into the hedges and tried to see how weird it would look if I lined the rest of the front with them, and it did not look good. So I opted to just put a column on each corner and call it a day with that. I tried to do a different roof option and didn't like it, so then deleted it and put a very basic little roof on instead, and put some trim on it as well, just to kind of make it the tiny little bathhouse it is, and to keep the focus on the outside. So I started by placing down a big patio. I don't know why that column moved and the other one didn't, but it did. And then I just extended it back a real long ways, because I had no idea what I was going to do for this. I just knew that I wanted 2 levels, and I was going to achieve that in some way. So I used the custom pool tool eventually, but first I wanted to go back and pick a fence, apparently. I ended up going with this tall one. I thought it should be a taller one, and I didn't extend it all the way. I just wanted to see what it looked like, because I didn't know where it was going to go to. This first pool is an L-shaped pool. Both of the pools in this are very large. They're pretty big pools, so the Sims have plenty of space to move around and kind of do their thing. So that is nice. And then I wanted to see if somehow you could put a pool on a platform. You can't. Found that out. I figured you couldn't, but I didn't know if anything had changed. So I built up a next level that can turn into a pool. And then also make this one L-shaped to come out. I kind of thought of like those infinity pools that kind of go over one another. So it almost looks like a giant fountain in a way, but it's a swimming pool. Then I wanted enough room for the Sims to like comfortably walk by on each side. So we ended up going for that. I popped a little thing down back there, removed it, and then in a second here, I'm gonna put it back, because I thought I didn't need it, but then I realized it wouldn't make sense without it. Finished off the fence, and then got to work on the fur patio that goes around. Thinking about this now, and I'm watching it back, I 100% forgot to put columns on the corner, so it is just floating. It's a very magical pool, if you will. We'll just call it that. I still think it looks good regardless. Now I put some stairs going up to the second floor, and then for the fence, I decided to go with a glass fence and a shorter one for this top level. Thought about taking it all the way around the edges, but then rethought about my little infinity pool thing, so I didn't do that, and then popped a railing on. Once I put the railing on, I remembered that I like the get-together glass fences a lot better, so I switched them out for those. They're much more minimal. They don't look as busy as the city one. And then I decided to put some windows on this pool so that you can see into it. It's simultaneously cool and a little bit of an invasion of privacy, but you're at a public pool, so I feel like it's fine-ish. But there's windows on it regardless. Then I thought about putting that fancy tile all over the back patio, but it looked insane. So then I thought about the white marble, but then that was blinding. So I ended up going with this nice gray stone pattern. Just looked nice. Had to check their requirements because I wasn't sure what I actually needed for this. First things first was pool ladders, even though in this game Sims can get out without them. I put a couple diving things in there as well, and then I did plop a floaty in each pool because they're cute and the Sims usually like sitting on them. And I also didn't put, there's a lot of pool space, but there's not the most lounging space. There is some, but not that much. Outside of these doors, I decided to put trash cans because I just know that somehow trash would build up on this lot if that's not the case. And then started decorating around the pools a little bit. It is a pretty minimal design for around here, but I do think it still looks cute. And then I put some little tables there. I left them empty to kind of simulate like a real life community pool where there would just be tables, and then when you get there you would put your stuff on them. So everything starts out pretty empty, and I just rotated these little tables to just make them look a little less uniform and robotic. Up here there's not a ton of room, but I did squeeze a couple of lounge chairs up here. Those two might not be completely functional. One of them might be, I'm not positive about the other one. And then I popped the same little tables up there as well. But I looked for some lot traits as well that made sense for this, and there weren't really any, so it doesn't have any lot traits. But that is the Newcrest community pool. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video.